Okay, we'll do another hour. All right. Set up the thing. People say, what are the boxing videos? I'm not gonna do boxing videos. I'm not gonna do boxing videos soon. Well, I don't know actually. I'm probably a bit talked out on boxing for a minute, to be honest with you. You know something? I was straying off the topic already, which isn't good, right? But I didn't want to do the Mike McCallum video for a few reasons. And you know me, I'm not one who's going to pretend and not tell you what I'm really thinking. I'm doing the historical videos, right? The reason I'm not doing as much, a lot of people want the historical content. And YouTube is not a big source of income, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, if I can't get over 500 views, it's terrible. Like at this stage of doing YouTube, like I'm not going to do videos and the numbers are that low. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. And you know what else it tells me? It tells me that there's a lot of fake boxing fans out there. How can Mike McCallum pass away and I don't have as much views with a video with Mike McCallum's face on the thumbnail as I do Ben Shalom's? I mean, there's some fake boxing fans who are just looking, you know, for the latest clickbait and the, you know, like they're more important, but they're more concerned about breaking news than any real content. If you don't want to watch a video about Mike McCallum, you're a fake boxing fan. I don't care how young you are or how old you are. You are a fake boxing fan. 100%. Like the other month, I done the video on the belts. Do you know, in that video, I've researched certain facts that you won't find nowhere. I'm talking about nowhere. And that's because I had to do digging to work out one puzzle, work out another puzzle, and another puzzle, and you won't get these facts anywhere. And I did that. And I felt proud I did that. That video still hasn't hit 1,000 likes or 1,000 views. And that's a bit of a problem to me. And plus, I don't want to just like be preaching breaking stories. People are watching me for breaking stories rather than the content of what I'm saying. And I know that sounds a bit fussy. I shouldn't really be concerned about why people listen to the videos, but I don't know. You know, there's got to be substance with the roughness. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Is what it is. So let's look at the rap labels. The rap labels that have made the news in contemporary history of music. Look at the names. Murder Inc., Bad Boy, Death Row. They've all been interrogated by feds. Hollow artists have passed away. Suspicious, violent circumstances. And are these labels plants to either make hip hop culture or maybe Black American culture, or just let's just say Black culture look bad? Are they plants, or are they just ran really bad? Is it just misfortunate that you've got people like Suge Knight running labels? Irv Gotti, who was named that after Jay-Z said, yo, you can't call yourself Irving, you don't sound hip hop. And Jay-Z called him Irv Gotti, and Irv just kept it and ran with it. You know? What is up with that? Like, everything. Like, Suge Knight's supposed to be this big, tough guy. Big, tough guy he's supposed to be. The other day I heard the reason why he is where he is because he walked up right on the video set. No one asked him to go there, right? He walked up in the spot, and then someone was coming at him to give him the fade, to give him the hands, one-on-one. And you decide to run the person over in the car rather than throwing your hands, and you're supposed to be some big, bad, feared dude. Look how you ended up in jail. That's not gangster. I'm not bigging up gangster because I'm not roll to a gangster. But what is that? What is that? You're doing all them years in jail because you were scared to throw your hands. Look how much money that label amassed, only for him to give away the whole lot. And it's in totally different ownership. How does that happen? Look at the bad boy artists. Like, I'm asking, is it a curse? When you think about the artists, Black Rob couldn't even pay for his own funeral. Did he have to pay for the funeral? Right? I think he done 2 albums on Bad Boy. You said, well, you didn't send Biggie, but I'm sure if you said to Biggie that this isn't the time to go out to the West Coast, we're going to avoid that, he wouldn't have went. Biggie going out to LA in the middle of the East Coast, West Coast beef, which was, created mostly by the media. But nevertheless, why are you going out there? This is madness. What happened to what's his name again? There was another one. He got done for drugs, selling drugs. Loon. He got into issue. Look at Shine. Look at the Shine story. Shine. What's his name? Barrows. He got in the shooting incident with Diddy in the club. You know what I heard? He didn't actually shoot the gun. It was Diddy who shot the gun. And Shine took the fall for it. And you know what they're saying? This pertains to the video. J-Lo brought the gun into the club room because it's easier for women to sneak weapons into certain places than it is men. J-Lo. And that's why a lot of people are saying this is why Ben got rid of J-Lo, because, what did Britney say? I'm not so innocent. Yeah, that's right. And you see a lot of these women, these modern day bad girls, they walk around like the big bad men made them get into the lives they got into. But they were listen. They were only too willing to participate in whatever sexual liaisons were going on, and any gangster business, hold the drugs, hold the guns, and they felt empowered. Listen, when Cassie was doing what she was doing, recruiting the sex workers and organizing the parties and doing what she was doing, she felt very empowered as a woman. She felt very empowered. They're coming for me, people. They're coming for me. All right. So it just goes to tell you, man, like this Me Too movement. And I don't want to say too much for the women who are in genuine distress situations concerning abuse. I don't want to say too much, but this current crop of mainstream women in the public eye are doing a very bad disservice to women, to make women believe that they're being violated in any way. They're doing a very bad job. Very bad job. You know what I mean? $30 million. Taking out civil suits rather than actually like looking for real justice. It says it all. It says it all. Mm-mm. And here's the thing, man. Like, I hear a lot of people talking about that kid Tory and Diddy. Oh, they're gonna get off because they've got all this evidence. You guys are dumb as anything, man. Them N words ain't getting off nothing. Maybe they might, but I don't see it. I don't care what the evidence says for or against, right? And just like I said in the last video, like whether you have an abundance of friends or women, or you're in a good marriage or you're lonely, as a man, you've got to take your load and move accordingly. It is what it is, yeah. And Diddy cannot be expecting any favors. You're the man. You're the man in it all. You're the glue. No matter what evidence comes to pass or whatnot, you're the man. You're the male. You've got to take the fall. That's what comes along with great power as a man. It's just like if you're in the house and you've got your sons and daughters and your wife in the house and intruders come in there. You don't send your wife out there or your kids. No, you go down there. And if you're going to have to catch the worst of it, that's just how that goes. That's how that goes. There's no discussion. There's no debate. There's no negotiation between you and your family. No, it's you. You've got to go. You've got to go. And a lot of these people doing the red pill, I don't think they know what they're doing. But it's some of the stupidest crap ever. Telling men that they're superior to women. How? How are men superior to women? If they live 6 to 7 years longer than you, how are you superior to them? You explain that to me then. If you're taking the fall for things they willingly participated in, and they're getting off and getting paid from it as well, I want to know how you're superior. You're not superior. You're not superior. If you put it down, oh man, I've got a little leak there. I'm gonna have to fix that. There's a ring. I didn't realize that. Did that start? Give me 2 seconds, people. The rain's coming down hard. I just got a leak through the thing, through the bottom of the window pane. Mad. Men that I don't like saying it because like I'm a man, so I don't like saying it, but I don't believe that men are able to manipulate things as well as women. I think women are a lot more credit than the red pill give them, and that's the problem. There's nothing wrong with red pill. You know what the red pill's problem is? They're not honest. You can still make a lot of your talking points, but you got to be honest until you acknowledge, yeah, that the people who are the benefactors of Me Too, um, remember that woman? What's her name? Maxine. Remember that Ian Huntley guy who killed off them little girls, right? And this woman was his accomplice for all that time, right? This woman was his accomplice. And when it all went wrong, you see her sniveling and crying, "Oh, get him away from me, don't pay the fit. I'm thinking, wow. And until you young dudes understand, right? Till you understand that there's no given right or anything, birthright, that makes you superior to anybody, you're going to have a lot of issues in this world. A lot of issues. A lot of issues. Mr. S said he's been with his woman for 7 years. Ain't no way he's marrying her when I'm already seeing the issues married men complain about. Yeah. Well, here's the thing though, Mr. S. If you've been with for 7 years and you're not marrying her, so what's the plan then? I mean, if she's a good woman, then you can marry her. If she's not a good woman, then no. It's not like a blanket statement, like either hate all women or love all women. There's got to be a balance there. If you've been with her for 7 years, tell me what age group you are. Don't give me your age or your details. What roughly are you between 35, 40, 35? Just let me know. I'll be very interested. You got 3 and had a kid 3 years ago. You got a kid as well, bruh? Come on, man. Just give me a rough bracket between 30 and 35. Oh, you're about to sell the house and separate financially. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, let me read your earlier comment. Women nowadays must have some serious issues. None of them want to be their mum or nans, which really makes the question, what can they offer a self-sufficient man? All right, I'm I'm listening. I'm listening. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, obviously, I'm making assumptions, and you know the story more than me, obviously. Big up Ulix, big up Guzzy. There's a Hole in My Bucket by Lee King. Who made the old reggae song? There's a hole in your bucket. It wasn't Yellow Man. It was one that I can't remember. That song was bad. I used to love that song, man. I love that song. School days. School days. Big up Muhammad. Okay, 40. She's mid-30s. Ah, right. Yeah, Mr. S. How you feeling about the whole situation? That's interesting. Muhammad Beats, you think thugging it out and looking in is the cure for male loneliness? Looking, I don't know. You tell me. You know your life better than me, Marvin. Guzzy, I heard rain and leaking. Yeah, I mean, like flipping. Looks like I have to get the I don't know, man. It's only a small leak, but flipping hell. See, I haven't been in this room for a long time, you know. Market, what's up? Good. What's up? What's up? Mr. S, I've tried for the last 3 years, to be honest. I'm cool. Just got to work out co-parenting. Wow. It could be tough for your kid too. Hey, listen, best of luck on that, man. No, it's not easy. It's not easy. Market, wasn't expecting a live like this. Boxing beats and relationships. It's all good. Wow. Yeah. Women are very conniving. Not all women, but just like men are. They are very conniving. Very conniving. Especially like this sister code is developing legs on the internet. And women are learning a lot of tricks just on the strength of their interactions in the internet. Yeah. And we're at a stage now, women are so confident, like to be in a 7-year relationship, like Mr. S said, and then just go it alone. Mr. S said he grew up with parents that couldn't stand each other but stayed for the kids. It's not what people think it is. It's more damaging than helpful to the kids. There is a duality to what you're saying. There is a duality to what you're saying, though. And my reply to that would be this. If the woman has the majority of the co-parenting duties and you're working how much hours a week, and you've got a daughter, let's say, just for instance, or a son, remember, let's say you've got a daughter, and your presence isn't visible, that the boys around the way know that, yeah, dad's there, can't do certain things. That could be the difference between your daughter getting groomed, between your daughter getting exploited, between your daughter being influenced, not just by men. That, like, to be honest, like people think, oh yeah, you're gonna get influenced by someone. No, no, no. The worst influences are who? The female friends. And this is like women are very clever. They've framed the whole dynamic between men and women like, oh, it's men leading us up this, when they encourage each other in groups when they're on their own to talk about OnlyFans, to talk about, possibly becoming a star on IG, and getting butt injections and BBLs. You think men are influencing that? Man, it's not. It's all a lie. Now, don't get me wrong. There are certain men who would exploit that financially by making an industry for butt injections and BBLs and cosmetics and surgery. But the average man on the street is not influencing their daughters to do that. And then, like a lot of these girls, their mothers are flipping just as screwed up as they are. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're not good influences. I mean, like, yes, I've seen mothers competing with their daughters. I've seen it. I've been in them situations. Guzzy says social people has made people lonely, in my opinion, sitting behind a screen, no human interaction. No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Social media takes away that loneliness from a lot of people's lives. It takes it away. Now, it might be artificial interaction, but it takes away loneliness. So, for instance, if someone was a right loner in the real world and had no interaction with people online, they can make a conference group and they can talk for hours, and it's not going to cost them nothing but their internet connection to keep doing it. So they can spend hours and hours in their peer group, in their conference group, talking, interacting with this person, and they can go back and forth and build these groups everywhere. So, no, no. But loneliness in the real world, if you're somebody who still wants to interact with the real world, that's where your issues with loneliness will come. But not on social media. There's just too much to do. Too much people to do it with. Yeah, it makes people sad, McQuillan. Yeah, makes them sad. Yeah. Mr. S says, I hear you on that. I do have a daughter, but damn, it's deep. And all I can do is be there often, collect from nursery, school, etc. Well, this is what I'm saying, Mr. S. So, okay, your parents, I'm just quoting what you said, yeah. I'm being respectful. Like they stayed together because they didn't want to split up the family. Right? Now, it may have done damage to you and your other siblings. It may have well done. Maybe to your mum, maybe to your dad. But old rude boy knew not to come through the gate. Who do you think's getting exploited? It's these homes where the dad isn't there. He's not there. I don't think my sister's had a great relationship with my dad. And let me tell you this, right? I grew up in Tottenham, late in like 70s and 80s. And we had a heavy sound system culture in our area. There was a dance every week, somewhere or somewhere about. I've got to be careful how I frame this because I don't want to put certain people in there. I've got to be careful how I frame it. But let me tell you this. Some of the people who controlled the party scene, let's just say, were PIMPs. And I saw firsthand how a lot of these girls got handled, treated, bullied, beaten up. Some of them were friends to my sisters. And you know something? You see some of the men who were controlling it, they were the same age as my dad at the time. The same age as my dad. And you know what? They used to come in our off license and talk to my dad for hours. Because they, you know what I mean? My dad knew some of them from even when they first came to Jamaica or back at yard, he knew them. But they weren't abusing my sisters. Where's that? Because dad was there. Yeah. dad was there. One of my sisters, my second eldest sister, R.I.P. to my older sister. I was thinking about her yesterday. One of her good friends was the main squeeze of one of the PIMPs. And every time I used to see it, she was a really friendly girl and very talented. I can't say how, but she's very, very talented. And she always had this sad, dejected look on her face. And when I used to see it used to make me I used to feel so bad. And I knew exactly what was happening. I knew exactly. And there's a lot of black stereotypes. And this is why I hate when certain black people come in my lives. Oh, Beats, you can't talk about the community. I don't know where you grew up, bro. I don't know where some of you grew up. Yeah? But I'm talking proper pimps, yeah? Sovereigns, full of hand, jewelry, bling, BMWs, powerful, strong men in the community. And these are who they were, yeah? If it's a stereotype and it fits, it is what it is. I didn't make it. It is what it is. Yeah. And there were loads of girls in this position. Then I go from my house up to Phillip Lane, go up to the bus garage. And was it the Swan Pub? I remember the first time I saw the Swan Pub. And the first time I kind of sussed out what was going on in there. You had a lot of white women who looked a bit rough, and these black dudes. And I was saying, all these black dudes and these white women in this pub here and that. And then later, I used to go and get some trees from there, and stuff. And then, you worked it out, yeah. It was pimps and hoes, bro. Yeah. These white women probably fell out with their community, didn't want to be around their dad. Their dad didn't like them because they were hanging around N-words. And yeah, more common than what you think. Taking dads out of the house it's a dangerous road, bro. It's a dangerous road. I remember when I was growing up and I wasn't under the same roof as my dad, and I noticed my fear factor to do certain things disappeared. If I was under the same roof as dad, I'd be thinking, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Want to think about doing that. And my dad was a deterrent. He was a good deterrent. Because he took no ish at all. And a lot of Jamaicans will vouch for what I'm saying. Yeah, dad was a great deterrent. And maybe not even just parents in general. Let me take that back. Not Jamaicans. A lot of you in here are going to say, yo, it's because of dad I didn't go off the rails. It's because of dad. Guzzy, social media takes away loneliness, but I don't think it's healthy long term. Oh, I agree. Oh, it's definitely not healthy, Guzzy. We are 100% in agreement. I've met plenty of teenagers nowadays that are really awkward when talking in person. Yeah, definitely not healthy. Yeah. Mr. S, the issue isn't if dad is there, it's if you teach your kids so they know how to move when you are not there. My sisters both ended up with roadmen despite being uni girls. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, yeah. But I think if you're going to look on a general outcome, the fathers, listen, you see where them grooming gangs were happening like outside the M25, wherever it was. Do you think dads were in the house for the majority of the cases? No, there was no dads in there. Trust me. Listen, them men ain't going around again. If they know that the old man is going to chin them and possibly bury them, they're not going around them. You see, I've heard a lot of stories about the grooming thing, right? And like I said before, we got to start from the baseline that if you're the man involved in this, you've got to take full accountability for the fallout. And that's that. So that's the baseline. That's the disclaimer. I've made the disclaimer. Now let me cook, right? A lot of the girls, impoverished, were going around these businesses where these men were doing what they were doing, trying to get food and some money to buy clothes and stuff like that. And that's how the relationship between them started. Now, I'm not putting the blame on these girls, but if there's a household, a functioning household where mum's looking after the house or maybe working and dad's working, it's not that easy to get them girls in that position. For a start, they're not going to need to go around to your shop to get a portion of chips or get clothes, money to buy clothes, because they got, the nuclear family structure there. Yes. Mr. S, he says his dad had a strong hand, but it didn't stop his middle sis doing all type of efforts. Yeah, maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. But you know what it did do, right? It made her not take certain shit from a lot of people. She learned that from her. I guarantee. I bet. I know you're gonna come back and say, "Yeah, you're right, Beats. Yeah, I know, Mr. S. I've got this. Yeah, it made her go out and do a lot of effort, but I bet you any money she wasn't getting groomed out. I bet you any money she wasn't getting groomed or put on the stroll to sell things for money. I bet you any money it weren't that. I bet you any money you're going to reply and say, "Nah, she didn't do that." Yeah, I know. Yeah. Jazz Funk said, "My dad would get the belt." Yeah, dad get the belt. Dad would pick up the belt, and he's going to deal with it. People out there having children while being children themselves, but truly they believe they've matured because they have jobs or earn a certain amount of money. Bank account covers up the man child, says Ryan M. Big up, Ryan. Yeah. People out there, people's children only play out exactly who their parents were when they conceived them. Parents never bothered to grow up themselves, but expect children to do so just because they say to do so. Okay, McQuillan doesn't agree. Mr. S, not just man-child Ryan, little girls trapped in grown women's body too. McQuillan says, "Nah, I played out different to who my parents ever were. I was a proper scallywag. Neither of my folks were. It's far more complex." Mm. See, here's the thing, man. This is the United Kingdom. And the housing estate culture became a thing in the 60s. And there was always youth rebellion. It always has been. Yeah. But there's definitely a housing estate culture out here. There definitely is. And the housing estate culture is centered around a lot of single parents. There's just certain things children know they're going to get away with mum. And not all mums. Not all mums play that. Some mums wild out. But there's just certain things that dads put their foot down on. Mr. S says, yep, all accountability is on the man. Yeah, you've got, yeah. Once you get into freak offs or grooming and it catches up with you, all accountability falls on you. Don't be looking to, oh, well, she did this and that. No. You know what I mean? The girl's gonna come in there dressed like Miss Goody Two Shoes, and all that, and she's gonna speak really softly and all that. Of course she is. It's survival, and that's why women live longer. They know how to survive. Women know about the path of least resistance, where men go the hard way around doing things. That's why this red pill advice is really bad, because they're not acknowledging the strength of women. They're like hard-headed. Yeah, men are inferior because they're stronger and they push more weights and they're bringing this and they work 60 hours a week. Dude. No. It's bad advice. Ulick says it's hard to believe in grooming taking peoples who have parents in the home, both parents in the home. Yeah, it's a tougher thing to do. Mr. S says, time for a work meeting in 2 minutes, but I'll be listening back to the stream ASAP. No problem at all, man. I'm glad, hey, I really value your contribution. And hey, I believe you'll work through this. I believe you'll work through this. Well, yeah, see, the thing is, here's the thing. You don't have no choice. This what it is, right? You have no choice. This is like what I was saying before. Oh, you're lonely. Well, it is what it is. You're either lonely or you got an abundance of friends, or you got money, or you're broke. It is what it is. You know? That's your child. You're gonna have to do whatever it takes. You know what I mean? With your other half or not, you're gonna have to do whatever it takes to bring them up as functional as possible. Yeah. Ulix, I think alleged victims of what them call him again? King, whoever his name. I don't want to say his name. I can't remember his name. Said they had broke families before they met the TATEs. And I mean, yeah. What was his name again? The TATEs. See, the thing is, yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't know what to make of that guy. I don't know what to make of him. How did he develop such a cult following? Ryan says most people don't know exactly whom their parents were when they conceived them. They only know parent image portrayed to them. Parents of today do the same thing, playing a role for their kids. And what's wrong with that, though? You have to, I mean, being a parent often is a situation where you do what I tell you. No, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you smoke cigarettes or something, you're telling your kids not to smoke. You can say, yeah, it's hypocrisy. But what are you going to do? Tell them to smoke because you didn't? It's just crazy. So that's it's like what Shan asked in the last hangout. If you love pets but you eat meat, are you a hypocrite? Yeah, to a degree you are. But sometimes that's unavoidable, isn't it? Big up Anthony Mackin. Yes. Big up. Row B1, there's also a cultural element to this debate. Well, there are cultural elements, but there are similar dynamics. You know what I mean? Like I gave you the West Indian version of when I was a kid with the pimps, but there's also an Eastern European version, and there's an Asian version, etc., etc. Yeah. Clan McQuillan. I grew up on the biker estate in Newcastle, one of the poorest areas in the UK. We got up to Ish as kids. Is that the Biker Grove? Is it an actual estate then, Biker Grove? Is it? I thought it was fictional. I thought it was fictional, you know. Biker Grove, you know. Biker Grove. Oh yeah, listen, the Northeast, you mean? I didn't know that, you know. Jazz Bunk. We used to play football in the streets. Good old days against skinheads. Ryan M. Of course, on top of what is inherited from parents is social influences, especially in the initial 8 years and 16 years. After that, most people repeat the same patterns. Also, a class element. There's definitely a class element. Jimmy said, I'm a single father and I've been raising my daughter since she was 5. She's 15 this year. Daddy knows the road, so I explained while I maintained she could concentrate on school and herself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alone or lonely? Wonder if some people see a difference. Ah, I like that one. Alone or lonely? I wonder if some people see a difference. Yeah, yeah. I don't mind being alone, but lonely would suck. Hey, that's bars. That is what you call bars by Mr. McQuillan. That's some bars. That's bars. Give me 2 seconds. Jimmy said, teaching her to look after herself, plus I'm her father. So she should never have to grow up and beg no man nothing. There you go, Jimmy. There you go. There you go. And that's what I was explaining to S is basically look, if you're raising your daughters up in a city, there's so much distractions and temptations. They're not gonna get through scot free. But like Jimmy was saying, his daughter isn't gonna go begging a man for chips or money to buy clothes or something because he's built an environment where that's not even, you know, amongst her thoughts. This is like she's got a dad. She's got structure there. A lot of girls don't have that. Yeah. Anton, he says, yes, Pete. Being a young guy myself, I've never struggled with women, but I can see how Tate spoke to those boys who felt lost in a world where social media is fronting girls they deem unobtainable. Yeah, and he's got these classes that have netted him a pretty little fortune. And you know, I could be mad at him, but oh, McQuillan says Biker Grove is in the West End. Is it a real place though, or is it fictional? Okay, you're from the bike. Okay. Oh yeah, you're from the East End. All right. Let me see. Is Biker Grove a fictional place? In the context of the TV show, it's fictional. While the show was set in the Newcastle district of Biker, the specific Biker Grove Youth Club, the setting of the drama is fictional. The show was filmed in the Benwell area, nearby the Benwell. Okay. All right. So you're just the other. You're the other side of it. You're the other side. Of it. You're in the hood. Yeah, the Grove. Yeah, Grove is fictional. Grove is fictional, but there obviously is an area named Biker. You're in the ghetto though, in the east, in the Newcastle ghettos. I tell you what though, right? Let me tell you this now. Before anyone laughs at the ghettos of the East End, let me. I don't know. Let me see what Clarence say. Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough is one of the most scariest places. Middlesbrough. I don't know if it's changed from when I was watching this documentary, and it was just on, and then after I started listening and watching what I want, I'm saying, "Where's this place here? This isn't in England." It was like it just looked torn up, and it was like desolate. And it was listen, Newcastle, bro, Newcastle. Says, yeah, man, both really rough areas. Benwell is worse than Biker. Mm, yeah, yeah, the tough areas, bro. What was it, Walsall? And I was saying, like, countries mash up, bro. You know what I mean? Countries torn up. TATE has always been about the money, says Guzzy. Sad to see people hang on every word he says. That's because there's a gap that's been left by the lack of male influence on kids, on boys. That's because of that. And I'm not saying all like look, there's always the other debate that certain dads in the house do have a negative influence on the household because they're maybe just a little too harsh and too violent and a bit too abusive. So that's no good either. But yeah, there's definitely a gap that people like TATE, um, what was his nickname again? Top G, that Top G has exploited. And what's his name? KS, Kevin, has exploited. And here's the thing, everyone thinks it's an internet phenomenon, but before they was around, there was an individual on American radio named Tom Likas, and he had a serious cult following on radio. And it was very um, male oriented, how to get nanny and money and stuff like that. And he was hated by women, hated by a lot of people. He was once beaten up on the street. But he used to brag about his mansions, about his lifestyle that he's attained from his radio fame. And he used to treat like women like crap, basically. Like, I'm not laughing at that, but that, like, that's who they've got their shtick from. And he was a white guy. Tom Leykis. You can find his videos online. There's videos where they've recorded his material. McQuillan says Borough is a very deprived area. I think it has the worst poverty in England. Oh, yeah. See, and that's the thing, yeah? I grew up in a rough area, but, you know what I mean? Like, in a black area. But this is what I'm saying. Like, when I use terms like white privilege, and I've got into debates with white people over this and black people, I don't acknowledge white privilege. And I say, why not? Because I don't acknowledge it. Some people might have it, but not every white person has it. And like I'm saying, right, that Walsall and Middlesbrough, they're predominantly white areas. And you wouldn't move there for nothing. When I was watching the program, I was in shock. I left the television stunned that this was the country I live in. I said, wow. Anton, he said, it's often the old industrial hubs, some areas, Midlands, Walsall, yeah, and Northeast. Once the factories died off, nothing is replaced. Yes, yeah. And some of them areas we're talking about, Anton, that they haven't recovered from when the mining industry fell apart in the 80s. They haven't recovered. And like you're saying, the factories, the car factories fell apart. Yeah, haven't recovered. So the class element is just as prevalent as what anyone else wants to say. Yeah. Ulick says, Tom is still around, yeah? He's funny, though. Tom was funny, bro. Tom was funny. Tom was proper funny. Tom was funny, man. He was so sharp. And he was funny, man. He was funny. Like the women were calling him fat and ugly, and it always have a comeback to like just the killer lines. Anthony said the council estate in Ware, Garth, Sunderland, where Nicky Allen was killed, looked quite rough back in the early 90s. Nicky Allen, wow. Yeah. That, like I've been saying that, man. Like, listen, the Northeast boys, you know what I mean? If you get into something with them, you better prepare to throw hands, because they'll throw hands. They'll throw hands. They will throw hands. They'll throw hands. Okay, a 7-year-old girl was murdered by. That sounds nasty, Anthony. I don't even want to repeat what it was. Lord of mercy. What? Oh, look at the unit. Oh, that's horrible, bro. Inside an old derelict. Why did he do it? Oh, man. I've never heard of this case, brother. I've never heard of it. I never heard the case. Huh. McQuillan says, yeah, we have some serious issues up here. Most of the places along the riverside from North Shields to Newburn are as poor as hell. Ulix, I can't lie. I can't lie. Help how Tom would frustrate them. Tom used to frustrate the. Tom was funny, boy. Tom was funny. Tom was funny. Anthony, my friend, offed himself in jail over the Nicky Allen thing. Had same surname as the and was targeted in jail. Whoa. Mm-mm. That okay, Jackie says, depending on where you are, there's circumstantial privileges for all types of people. Yes, there are. There are some instances in life where it might not work out well for blacks, but there's other things where it don't work out for whites or Bangladeshi or this group or Muslims. It all depends. It all depends. It's like lottery at times. Yeah. Anthony said they charged the wrong guy at first. Ooh. Whoa. Yeah, Guzzy said the steel industry in the north. Yes, yes, Sheffield. What's happened to the steel industry in Sheffield? What's that like now? Yeah, and it's left a lot of these places depressed, right? And as they're not the hub, the capital, they've kind of gone by the wayside and been neglected. Yeah, steel industry, UK. Special measures, it says, Act in 2025. A significant downturn in 2024, with production falling by 29% year on year. This decline was attributed to a transition to electric arc steel, making intense competition and high input costs. Despite this, the UK steel industry remains a vital component of the economy, contributing to 1.7 billion in GVA and supporting 37,000 jobs. Yeah, man. It's this. I tell you what, man. Wow, wow. Mm-mm. Anthony says the Northumbria police that gave him a flimsy apology when they convicted the. Okay, wow, wow, yeah. Mm-mm. So that beats the real unaliver lived on the estate for years. I couldn't even look at the girl. It's horrible, like horrible, like it's horrible. That's just horrible, man. Mm-mm. Anton says 100% beats. I worked up and down the country, and before starting my job, like most assumed, the worst areas were inner cities until I went into the forgotten towns. Yeah, yeah, mm, yeah, yeah. Anthony said I watch a lot of old Crime Watch episodes, and that's why I know about the case. Those episodes are a good way of educating yourself about English social change over the decades. Indeed. Okay. McQuillan is giving you a little tip on a book, Anthony. The Jigsaw Man is a good read. Dark but very interesting. and he's gonna check it out. Big yourselves up, man. The Jigsaw Man. See, you know what I mean? Like suggesting books. I like that shit. Like that. Okay, there's actual film of it. It's a 1983 espionage film starring Michael Caine, Susan George, Laurence Olivier, and Robert Powell. Boy, my mum definitely saw that. Wow. See, like a lot of things have just like deteriorated in our country. Like I believe you can make a correlation between entertainment and education as well. You see, when you like this book you recommended in the film, like a lot of times you watch these old films, and it's just like opening a textbook. You watch an old film sometimes, it's like opening a textbook. You learn so much, but you go to modern day programming and filmmaking and stuff. It's just like what is this? What is this crap? A British spy who betrayed his own country is sent back from Russia on a mission. Yeah. Okay, they've got a crime watch reconstruction, Anthony. Oof. Whoa. Let me tell you a story about crime watch. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna tell you. I believe it. Well, let me just say this. Some people, right, little scams. What? What brings you watching crime watch? While it's on their faces. Oh shit! I can't tell the whole story. The man's face covered with crime watch. You know, oh boy, I think I laughed. I don't know how would I laugh. Oh dear. Oh, that was so funny. That was so funny, bro. Yeah, we're definitely highbrow up in here, bro. You know what I mean? Man's face come up in crime watch at he wasn't expecting it. Man thought the coast was clear. Oh, oh, I was in tears. Like the CCTV or whatever must have picked them up. Oh, oh, God. Oh. I remember my just told me the story. I was in tears. I was in absolute tears. Because I knew the guy who, who was in the picture. I was like, oh, man. Oh, man. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wow. Susan George. Is she still around? Yeah, she's still 74. She was an attractive woman, weren't she? Susan George, you know, she's quite attractive. Then again, at that age, I found all the women attractive, innit? But she was attractive. Susan George, you know. See them days there, yeah? Like, it was real talent. Like, when you talk about actors like Olivier, Laurence Olivier, and Michael Caine and Susan George, like, these are proper trained and skilled operators. Sidney Poitier, and you know what I mean, Elizabeth Taylor, and was it Richard Burton? And I tell you what, who's the other one who played Hannibal and Silence of the Lambs? Anthony Hopkins. Bad man, bad man. And I tell you what, you know who really messed me up? I'm not a big film person, but I know my actors and actresses because my mum loved films. Is the Gene Hackman. That messed me up. I said, Gene, gone. That was like, oh, yo, Gene Hackman. This is when they used to make proper films, bro. Proper films. See, back then I'd sit down and watch a film. Ulix says theatre work as well. Yeah, a lot of them come from the theatre. Ulix, yes, yes, exactly. They come from the theatre. They didn't just walk into there like when they finish spitting an album and make films. Although Tupac was talented, can't say Tupac wasn't. Tupac was multi-talented, but a lot of the rappers, they just made films about the genre of music they made, really. And there was a genre for that. To be honest, there was a genre for that. So I'm not going to accuse them, although, what's his name? Black actor. I can't remember his name now. Anyway, he wasn't too thrilled with the rappers. He's saying that you're taking bona fide actors' jobs. Not Denzel. Why am I again? He was in Pulp Fiction. How can I not remember his name? I'm looking at his face now. He played Steven in Django. Just his name really doing my head in now. I've watched so many of the films. What's his name? Cast. Yeah, Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson. My God. My God. Thanks for bailing me out. Flipping now. Now, see, Sam Jackson, let me tell you how talented he is. You know when I realized how talented he was? It was the other day when he done the Warburton's advert. I mean, it's a loaf of bread, for crying out loud. How much acting can you get out of a loaf of bread? But he acted this advert out with his crazy laugh. He acted it out. You're like, wow. It's a passion. It's a talent. It's a passion that this is something they practice and they're focused on their craft. And these days, I just don't think you get that from the filmmakers and stuff like that. Or maybe you do. Maybe I'm just not watching the films. There's probably some really good films out there just going under the radar because of all the crap content that's dominating everything online and stuff. And some of the programs they put on the BBC. You know, my sister stopped paying the TV license. Yeah, she worked it out how she's told the people that she don't watch the BBC. I'm studying one up and answer while going. Oh, you do that again? I don't want to pay them no money. It's not even because it's a lot of money. I don't want to pay them. I don't deserve the money. The crap they put on, absolute crap. Ron A. Films like Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, and Lawrence of Arabia, just to name a few. These movies make you think. I saw Full Metal Jacket on advice of one of my friends, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, what is it you made me watch there?" That film was bad. That was what you call a film. Full Metal Jacket was what you call a film. And what was the one Morgan Freeman was in? Is it Shawshank Redemption? I've watched that about 3 times, you know. Film is just bad, man. Film is just bad. Film is just bad. Ulix says Full Metal Jacket. Wild. Yes. Guzzy said up there with Denzel. Who's there? Sam. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I tell you what, see, Denzel's the next one, bruh. Right? Was it Queen and Country or what was the film? He done it in the UK and he done the English accent. His English. See, they were making this video the other day about Americans not being able to crack the English accent, but the English actors being able to crack the American accent. Denzel nailed his accent. Nailed it. Denzel nailed the accent and nailed the role. That film was bad, bro. Film was bad. I watched that a few times as well. I've watched that one a few times. Market said it's nothing but slop nowadays, these beats. Yeah, like, you know, when we was younger, like pure quality films, man. Pure quality films. Yeah, Ulix, as in they lived the characters. Yes. That's why Tupac was good. Like, when he played Bishop, he even said that part of the role never left him, and that's because he was like so in character with the role. Part of the role never left him. LaFez, I wonder who's the best actor from Gen Z. Is there a best actor? McQuillan said he's never paid his license. I don't blame you. Akeem said the belts video I did was fascinating. Boxing love at its finest. If there was a chance to study boxing history, Beats has to be the teacher. Oh, yeah, I put my name up there to be nominated. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the bloody video ain't even got 1,000 views. Like, to me, like, the Mike McCallum video is not going to do 1,000. And to me, it's like, so what is it you're interested in? But you're not interested in the greatest fighters because you're not watching the Mike McCallum video. And he's definitely one of the greatest to ever have did it, right? You're not watching that. So what is it you extract from boxing? Exactly. If you're not clicking into that video, what's going on? LaFez, how would they ever know you don't pay your license? Well, I'm gonna have to cancel my one, bro. Screw you, I ain't paying it, bro. You know what I mean? Nah, pay. Stop paying Bomboclete. Greedy. But listen, if they were doing good programming, I wouldn't even say anything. Every time I put on BBC, all I see is a whole heap of TRNS crap. And look, I don't disrespect no one, but that's not for me. If that's what you're putting on, charge them to watch it. Don't charge me to watch it. Ulix says Shawshank is deep. Big up Bruce Gass. On the day Ali died, 2016. What's that, Bruce? Roby One. I know the Film Sinners is getting a lot. Oh, yeah. I've seen clips of that. That looks interesting. Is that with Michael B. Jordan? Ryan Google. And who was who's the British guy? I thought he had some talent, the black guy. But I don't think at the time, I think there's still talent that he needs to fulfill. And is it Steve McQueen? There's a black film producer, same name as the actor. Steve McQueen, a black film producer. He's pretty good. Yeah, Sinners looks pretty good. Looks interesting. Crescentio, what's good? He says, Beach, you've been cooking all day. Yeah, I have. Jimmy says Sam Jackson is the highest grossing actor of all time. His films grossed over 4 billion. Oh. Lefez, they're always trying to shoehorn rainbow people and race swapping in media today. And here's the thing, yeah? No one had a problem with people of that persuasion being in entertainment. Like in the 80s, all the British artists had hairliner and the Boy Georges. No one cared about it. No one cared about it. But now it's just like, it just seems like they're just trying to push it. I mean, it's just, when I say push it, I don't know. I don't even want to try and explain it. No one cared about it. Like people like what's his name? Dick Grayson and the other ones. No one cared. We all knew they was probably batting for the other set, but no one cared. You know, he played the piano, made jokes, and came off stage. All right, cool. But now it just seems a bit different. Like sometimes I think with music, you know what I mean? Like the whole homosexual guys like Sylvester with that high pitch, it kind of works, but it kind of works. But there are some genuine talents regardless of their persuasion. Talent like Little Richard, the phenomenal artist. McQuillan says Juice was an excellent film. Omar Epps' character was also great. Yeah, it was. It was. It was a scary film though. What was like them films are a bit scary, man. They were very good films in their execution, but it was a grim portrayal of FBA males. I think Menace was disturbing. Menace was like flipping hell. Menace to Society. Anniversary of the Greatest. Yeah, big up Ali. You ever see the Green Book? That was with the big guy. What's his name again? He passed away. No, I'm thinking of something else. The Green Book is something different. I'm thinking of is it the Green Mile I'm thinking about? Guzzy says, yeah, Channel 4 used to be pretty good, isn't it? Remember, Channel 4 used to be pretty good. Unix, am I more into action films? I never thought about it. I guess so. I guess so, to be honest. I guess so. What films I like? I like a lot of yeah, I do. I'm probably not the most sophisticated connoisseur or anything like that. I do like a lot of action. I like Robert De Niro films. He's one of my favorite actors. It all depends what I'm confronted with. Sylvester says quality of girls has gone down. I don't think it's gone. I think it's more punctuated on social media. That listen, I was talking about my childhood, and let me tell you this now, yeah. One of my dad's friends, a girl from Jamaica. See all these Meg the Stallions and all these girls acting like they're bad gal. You ain't no bad gal. You ain't no bad gal. You ain't no bad gal. Let me just say that. You ain't no bad gal. Trust me. You're not a bad gal. The girls who are passing off as boss babes and bad gal now, nah. Back in the day, they would have to humble behind like certain girls. They'd have to be humble. Let me tell you that now. I know women who've been in Holloway and were about that life more than I ever was. Let me tell you that now. Way more rolling street than I ever. Yeah, I know something. I know something. Nothing to brag about. Michael B. Jordan is in Sinners, but the film is littered with references and not just black cultural history, other cultures' history, movie genres, mythology. Lefez was never a big fan of the British media. I guess it's just the era I come from. Muhammad said he's just seen a baddie at work. D.O.B. Nooney says, get a fire stick, unplug your antenna, and don't pay for a TV license. That's deep. Sylvester Beach, you defo ain't outside like that, man. I don't know what you mean by that. If you mean that I'm not on road, you know, I've never really been on road like that. I've never really been on road, Sylvester. So, I mean, I know road people, and I know I go on. I hear all the stories, but nah, I'm not. I could try and avoid all that. I mean, man ain't trying to end up in prison and everything there. Mm-mm. Row B1. I went to a primary school with a girl who sliced the girl in primary school. Real bad girl. Yeah. See, back in the day, in the housing estates, like Tiverton housing estates, some of them black women who forget about it, bro. Forget about it. Forget about it. Anthony says, real bad guy now to fight both women and men, and they are quick to back out their knife and stab you up. These people on social media are clowns. You work in an office and daydream about being a boss. Exactly what you said there, bro. Exactly what you said there. Yeah. When I moved to Bruce Grove, there was a gang of girls who used to rob people on the street. I see some of them still now. They're a bit mash up now, but yeah, they used to rob people on the street, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Robbie once and he used to hang with her sister, so I was safe. Yeah, there was some. I'm sure there's still some about now, but a lot they're definitely about. But a lot of them on social media, they're not about that life. They're not about that life because the real ones are about that. They know not to go on social media and implicate themselves. They know. They stay away from that. Yeah, so they're talking about opening up that shooting that Diddy and J Lo was involved in, and they're saying that yeah, J Lo gonna have to come in there and testify who brought the thing into the club. Mm-mm. Muhammad says seeing an attractive woman makes life worth living for a second. Well, it does have that effect, Muhammad. It definitely does have that effect. Can't lie, it does have that effect. Women are very they're powerful in it. They're way more powerful than what the red pill say. Way more powerful. Way more powerful. And each time you keep saying they're inferior, they're just going to find different ways to play you and play you. All right. Jenny from the block. Jimmy said he's been reading up on Cassius Marcellus Clay, the man who Ali was named after. It's interesting how Ali was named after an abolitionist. Yes, he was. And reformer, but he still understood the lineage of the slave name. Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. I've seen a story on the guy you're talking about who he was named after. All right. Because it's not see the underage stuff. They've hinted about that, but it's not really about that, is it? It's not. It's never really been about that, because if it was, it would have been done and dusted already. Just it was checkbook and card, as far as I remember. You know what I mean? It was checkbook and card. Oh god. Yeah. I didn't even see the program, but my friends told me, yeah, they saw him on Crime. I was in tears. I was in absolute tears. Yeah, butter and cheese. Butter and cheese, Jimmy. You know what I mean? Butter and cheese. Oh boy. Yeah, fully blown. Fully blown. Oh gosh. Ah, we was all bracking up. We was all bracking up. That's mad. It's madness, bro. Oh dear. Mohammed, been watching a lot of Gene Deal interviews. Dude is a great storyteller with that deep New York accent. That's Puffy's ex-bodyguard. Oh, he's been talking about Diddy for a long time. A long time. He said Diddy should have just took the 5 years and done. But Diddy don't. Diddy wants to walk out of there, man. Diddy wants to walk out. You know what I mean? I don't know, Diddy. I don't know. I don't know. I think right now, with all the effort, and, like from the judicial system and the media they put in, it's hard to see Diddy walking out. It's hard to see him walking out. Diddy exploited his power. That's what he's did. And now they've got to make him pay for that. They've got to make him. If Diddy walks out, imagine if Diddy walks out without doing another day inside there. What's the reaction going to be like? Oh, Trump mentioned he may pardon him. Ooh. So tell me this, right? Does anybody believe that both Diddy and Tory Lanez are going to get off and walk out of there, and that's going to be it? Both of them. LaFez says Diddy definitely pissed someone off when Cassie filed. All of a sudden, a bunch of lawsuits came flying in. Yes. Anthony Mackin said he should walk. This is not a RICO prosecution. Ulick says, nah, he doesn't believe both of them. No, I don't believe both of them walk. LaFez, he's not really convinced that Tory shot Megan. Anthony says, where is the McIntyre? Well, this is it. Like, if they had a clear-cut case, surely this would have all been done and dusted a long time ago. So they're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to do him dirty. And he hasn't done himself no favors. Yeah, you could be right, Anthony. It's a showpiece trial. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah. I think they're just going to make an example of Diddy to say, yeah, look, no matter how big you are, taking you down. Roby one, Diddy should have never sued his handlers, the Ciroc owners. Yet they see, and it's like with Bill Cosby. A lot of people said Bill Cosby's trouble started when he started beefing with Trump. He started beefing with Donald Trump when Trump was talking about he was going to run for president, and Bill Cosby was laughing it off and ridiculing him. And he said that, and when he was he gonna buy a TV station, Bill? But yeah, look, in America, you mess with the wrong people, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're done out there. Ulix, is this a humiliation ritual conspiracy? Hat on. Oh. Yeah, yeah. If you piss people off, then yeah, it can go left. It can definitely go left, and that's what we might be witnessing here. But I don't know, man. It's all weird. Like someone just like Ulix, the baby oil thing. What's going on, Diddy? What is going on? What is going on? What have you been like? And see, the thing is, right, the facts, like some of you have mentioned it, will be obscured by the bizarreness of the story. And people are like thinking, well, they can be convicted on that. But no, you need actual tangible evidence. And so far, the pedophilia thing hasn't really stood up. The trafficking thing hasn't really stood up. So, I don't know. I mean, Piers Morgan tried to say, we know one thing about him, he likes guns. Of course he likes guns. He's an American male. Or tell me an American male in this chat who doesn't like guns. You all like guns. That's your thing out there. Roll B's asking about Ghislaine Maxwell got convicted of supplying children to who? And see, that's the thing. A lot of the women have been complicit in recruiting and supplying the children. And then when it all goes wrong, terrible man. That's how we've been doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Anthony, do you think the case was justified? Armored vehicles turning up at his home. They came in heavy, handled it as if he was Pablo Escobar. Yeah, that's just for extra theater. Yeah, I mean, to draw people in when they pull the big scam. Crescentio said, "We love guns out here." Yeah, they love guns. So like, how are you gonna like incriminate him because he likes guns? An American likes guns. Oh, that's novel, Pierce. Come off it, man. Anthony said they only found a handful of guns about there, I believe, with the serial numbers scratched off. Roby is saying they seem to have enough for the RICO case, to be fair. The Feds, it's like when Diddy and Jay-Z got sued by some women alleging they abused her along with some unnamed female celebrity. Not a single person asked who the woman was. No, of course not. This is what I'm saying. When it goes wrong, you just got to take the L, and like if you're expecting to get the same leverage as the females, it's just nah. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And it's no point crying about it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a man, like I was saying before, when it goes wrong, you know you're gonna have to take the blunt. Whether it's like you getting violated physically, doing prison time, getting killed, losing money, you're gonna have to take the accountability and the liability. Of course, it's just the way of the world. Big up HC for the super chat. Big yourself up, bro. Big yourself up. Yeah. And he's saying he's not a criminal, basically. He's saying the prosecution of the Gambino crime family and Aryan Nation in the early 80s, these are the archetypal RICO cases, not this nonsense. Is he a serial woman abuser? Yes, but he's not running. He's not running to, he's not a criminal. He's not running a criminal enterprise. See, I'd have to agree with that. Is he a piece of crap? Of course he is. Of course he is. But they can't. But to me, have they really established a sex trafficking case against him? Roby 1, I think guns with serial numbers filed off can be a conviction on its own, but not sure. I don't know. T.I. had a whole load of guns in him, right? And they weren't legal. And he's walking street now, bro. He's walking street now. Jimmy, it seems to have become policy that women can withdraw consent after the fact. Yeah, but listen, women are going to do what they can. They're going to, do the waterworks, dress up all elegantly and, you know what I mean, prim and proper. And they're going to put on their performance. Gerald, he says, just join, but all Diddy is innocent. See, the thing is, it's not about innocent and guilty. It's about, can you get off? Can you get off? Can you get off? But we're going to see. We're going to see, man. I don't know how he got in this deep, man. It's like there was a footballer. I can't remember. I was watching it the other day. He was a Premier League. I can't remember what team. He was a black guy. And he lost his career and everything. And like, he's having to take loans of footballers to cover all his expenditure, whether it's through the courts and just everything smashed up. Just holding parties, running trains on chicks and doing this and that. And like the lawsuits just like, and there was one girl in there, you know what I mean? Chunky looking girl, but you know what I mean? She came in there trying to condemn him, and then said, she admits she was enjoying herself and this and that and that. So what are you complaining about then? I'm telling you, it's arms out there. It's arms out. Telling you. Can't remember his name. Ruined his career. Ruined his career, man. Overput. This is what I'm saying, man. He had it all. Had it all, man. It's not worth it. This is what I'm saying. People talk about how much money you got, how much gal you got. When you're at the levels these athletes, these entertainers are, you'd be better off just doing a hand job, man. Doing a little hand job than getting involved in that. It's not worth it, bro. Not worth it. Really not worth it. Or just getting one woman or whatever and just I don't know. I really don't know. But the situation these entertainers and athletes are getting themselves in, just not worth it. Just to bust a nut. If all you're doing is busting a nut, you might as well flip in, just pay for it or something and film it, making a little arrangement. I don't know. Gerald said, it's like Andrew Tate. They tried to put charge after charge on him, trying to make something stick. It's ridiculous. Because now he's being charged in the UK. But the thing is, if they didn't manage to pull him down in Romania, what success are they going to have in the UK? What difference is it going to make? Anthony Mackin said, even the hookers are selling stories if you're an entertainer. Yeah, yeah. You have to film it. Every time you got to film it, bro. But then again, if you show it's consensual and you're paying her, they'll charge you on that, innit? That you bought some panani. They'll probably charge you on that. You're not allowed to do that. 5 years. I'm telling you, there's got to be. Listen, it's coming to a stage where like the entertainers and athletes are going to do something to protect themselves. Can't just be walking into the fire like that. They get bun up. Wow. You know, the girl said, yeah, she was enjoying herself. She has to admit that. She was enjoying herself. And they all felt empowered. You know what I mean? When Diddy gave Cassie the responsibility to organize the party and recruit, she felt empowered. She felt like the big dog. You know what I mean? The big female dog. She felt empowered. Why do you think girls like Megan call herself Stallion? It's empowerment, isn't it? Look, she's not a mare, she's a stallion. It's empowerment. It's a power trip. J-Lo carrying the weapons and stuff. Power trip. Power trip. The Fez says Andrew has said some sus stuff, but they're taking way too long to put him on trial. Yeah, if they had something, they would have had him behind the cage already. But sometimes they'll keep going and filibuster until they find something to actually get you with. That's what they did with Jack Johnson, isn't it? With the Mann Act. Roby 1, sex work in Vegas is legal. Porn, but if the X work is in New York, it's illegal. Wow, that's how they're trying to get him on the RICO. Wow, it's just should have held them in LA, the freak offs. Okay, Anthony saying the top G's, the different pot of water. The actual money is acquired from solicitation. There's a bit of editing there, which involved trafficking of women and forcing them to do work into that line of work. Gerard said to avoid accountability, they'll say Stockholm syndrome. That's it. There's always an excuse for a woman's bad behavior. Yeah, always. Always. Ulix says P. Diddy, he's well taught freak off. Missed him. Oh man. Oh man. It's crazy. Hey, this one was fun. This one was fun. Peace.